Almost every swimmer has experienced this. You hit a plateau in your training or race and after some analysis decide to improve almost everything. Your start needs a bit of work, your underwaters are horrendous, and both opening speed and closing endurance is missing. And now you're ready to tackle every possible avenue of improvement with boundless energy. But here's the very common sense rule. The more goals you're chasing simultaneously, the less progress you will make. And in this video, I will go through a better way, the way to make sure you can fulfill all those goals within a training season by deliberately focusing on one goal at a time. And before we jump into the plan, let's cover some basics of how your body adapts to training, because it's the foundation of everything we'll do. And here's a ground-shaking idea. Your body gets better at exactly what you train it to do, and pretty much nothing else. So if you demand yourself to swim fast, you get faster. And if you demand it to swim longer, you get more endurance. So it's pretty much like study. Solving math problems all day will not help you to ace your history test. Sure, there's always going to be a little crossover, but there is no one who became fast by doing endurance training or became a world-class backstroker through training butterfly. And this fundamental principle of specificity works in swimming, it works in studying, pretty much whatever you can think of. And it's pretty common sense stuff. So we've covered how specificity, training for one particular goal, sets the foundation for getting better at something. But there's another piece to the puzzle when designing a solid training program, and that is directed adaptation. This is like a specificity's close cousin. It means that the more we point all our training energy toward one specific thing, the more we'll improve at it. And that kind of sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. 1 or 2 kilo workouts won't do the trick. To really level up, like boosting your endurance or strength or whatever, you need a whole string of sessions, all laser focused on that one goal. And that's how you turn effort into lasting improvement gains. Now, if you start chasing other skills or fitness goals at the same time, you will have less energy to put all your efforts into that main thing to improve it maximum. And at worst, you might not have the energy to try and improve any of the qualities you are hitting with sufficient quality and intensity. And then nothing improves. Also, those chosen qualities might compete with each other for the resources of the body. And this phenomena is called the interference effect. For example, chasing endurance while aiming to improve your speed and power, your body ends up getting mixed signals. And again, nothing improves. And finally, let's not forget the opportunity cost. Every minute you spend on a side goal is a minute you're not pouring into your main mission, working more towards your main goal. You see, training isn't just about pushing hard any way you can. It's about telling your body exactly what to get better at. Your body needs time to develop new movement patterns, build your fitness, and refine the skills. But if you're constantly switching between 10 different things, you never give any single improvement the attention it needs to stick. So imagine if you're at the pool and say you want to improve your freestyle pulling technique and power. You might start working on your stroke efficiency, doing some drills and focus swimming with short distances, trying to maximize your distance per cycle. But halfway through the practice, you grab the kickboard and decide to improve your kicking. Then you throw in some slow endurance work because you need more stamina. And by the end of the session, you train a lot of things but improve nothing. Your brain didn't get enough repetition to lock in better stroke mechanics. Your muscles didn't get the focused overload needed to develop real power. You were just actively wasting your time. Meanwhile, in an alternate universe, you committed to improving your freestyle technique and power, and you decided to keep it at the center of all your weekly practices. And by the end of week 3 or 4, you have improved your distance per cycle by 15 centimeters. Real, measurable progress. Only then do you shift gears to a focused block of endurance training. This approach of stacking focused training phases lets you actually improve one goal at a time and then build on it while keeping most of the gains you worked so hard for. And it's like cooking a meal. You don't just toss all the ingredients into a pan and hope for the best. You prep, you cook each part separately, saute the onions, cook the meat, maybe simmer the sauce if you fancy, and then bring it all together for a killer dish. And training is no different. Each quality needs its own focus before you blend them into your competitive performance. And the best swimmers don't do more. They're actually doing less, but better. And if you want to break through your plateaus, it's time to stop training like a headless chicken. So focus on one thing, master it, and then move on to the next. And here's the why behind the struggle. Hard work doesn't guarantee progress if it's scattered over the place. Your body is not a multitasking superhero. It can only adapt to so much at once. So for example, when you started swimming, if you try to nail your flip turns, your stroking, your breathing, and kicking all in one go, you'd probably risk drowning. But instead, you started small, figuring out how to float or push off the wall and build from there. And that's focused overload, pouring your energy into one thing until it's second nature. And if you split your practice across too many qualities, your body gets confused, your nervous system is guessing, and all that effort fizzles out. No adaptation, just exhaustion. So zero in on one thing and hammer it until it's improved. And then stack the next skill on top. And that's how you turn effort into progress that sticks. Your brain and muscles build new pathways through repetition. It's like carving a trail through a dense forest. Walk that path over and over and it gets wide, clear, and easy to follow. But if you're hacking away at 5 trails at once, none of them get deep enough to stick. Even though the same analogy falls apart a bit when we talk about physiology, the principle still stands. You have to shout to the body on what you want it to improve. But here's the thing. If you keep splitting your focus, you're not just slowing yourself down. You're setting yourself up to hit that frustrating wall where your times just won't budge. But trust me, you got the potential to break through. It's just that your energy spread too thin across too many goals. Alright, here's the game changer that's going to flip your training upside down in the best way possible. Pick one thing, master it, then move on. And that's it. And I know it sounds way too simple, and it is. It's deceptively so simple that the majority of training programs in the world actively try to avoid too thin of a focus. They promise you to improve technique, speed, endurance, race pace, tactics, everything at once. But this is not possible. And it's not how the best in the world train. If you are a breaststroker at the very elite level, you do not train for backstroke. Actually, most of them probably actively avoid backstroke for that matter. And the training season is divided into blocks of special emphasis. First 6 weeks might be straight technique work, followed by a buildup of endurance, which reinforces the technical changes made in the previous technical block. The next phase might be dedicated at increasing velocity, and then finally the last block of training is fully dedicated to race-specific training. Not only you get enough repetitions of similar workouts directing the adaptation to what you want inside the training season, but in this example, the block supports each other in a sequence. Technique block is followed by endurance. First you create chains through focused skill work, and then you automate the newly improved technique through repetition in a low-stress environment. And after that, you reinforce the technical changes to high speeds because that's what competition is about. And finally, you maximize your performance by transferring all your newly found skills and fitness through race-specific practice. And because of this singular focus within the training phases, every improvement they make actually sticks. And you can do this too. For the next few weeks, pick one thing to obsess over. Maybe it's your underwaters, making those dolphin kicks sharp and powerful. Or your starts, nailing that entry so you hit the water like a spear. Whatever it is, make it your absolute mission. Every drill, every set, every lap ties back to that one goal. It's like turning on a spotlight in a dark room. Suddenly, all your energy shines on what matters the most. And that's the magic of focus. It's not about doing more. It's about doing one thing really, really, really well. And once that clicks, it's yours forever. And now, let's fast forward to the moment it all clicks. Because trust me, when it does, it's magical. So picture this. You've been hammering sprint sprint explosiveness for the last 6 weeks. Absolutely no fluff, just raw power off the blocks and through that first 25. At first, it kind of feels odd because you're used to juggling a dozen things and this focus seems almost too simple. But every set is about fast starts, snappy breakouts, and driving that initial burst of power. And then, around week 4 or 5, it hits you. Your time starts dropping. You're exploding off the blocks like never before. Your underwaters carry you halfway down the pool in a blink. You break the surface and it's like you're a rocket cutting through the water. And here's the part that's important. When you switch gears to something else, let's say endurance training, you step into it as a new swimmer. Not only does the endurance training feel fresh and exciting, but the newly founded power and speed help you with the endurance focus. Because you're not the same swimmer anymore. All the worrying about losing endurance while you're chasing speed is totally unnecessary. Maintaining qualities is much easier than building them. Getting out of breath between the sprints and warming up, maybe doing some warm down, it all contributed for you to keep your endurance levels up. Maybe they're not at their highest levels, but as you go back to endurance focus, it literally takes 1 to 2 weeks to be back on the levels you once were. So you're not starting over, you're just stacking wins. And each focused block builds on the last one, making you stronger, faster, more confident swimmer. So pick one thing, nail it, and watch your whole game level up. So what's it gonna be? You got the tools now. It's time to ditch the chaos and get laser focused. For the next 4 weeks, pick one priority. Just one. Not 3, not 2, one thing to fully own. If it's underwater, go for longer kicks, sharper breakouts, turn yourself into a dolphin. Maybe backstroke endurance. Get those meters up and suffer through hours of training building your capacity. Maybe butterfly speed. Then get ready for some power. Whatever it is, make it the heartbeat of your training. Write it down, then track it, live it, and every practice ask yourself, how's this helping my one thing? And watch what happens. That one improvement starts lifting your whole game. Your strokes get cleaner because you're wasting less energy. And here's my challenge to you. Pick your one focus right now and then drop it in the comments. Then commit to it, own it, and get to work. See you at the pool.